shock themselves with electricity, then sit alone for 15 minutes with their thoughts. Boredom isn't your enemy. Your mind can't find meaning if you never stop to listen. Have you ever been so bored that you reach for your phone, even when you know there's nothing new to see? What if I told you that this tiny reflex could be the reason you feel anxious, restless, and unfulfilled? Because according to science, boredom isn't your enemy. It's your brain begging you for meaning. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Azmi. I'm going to tell you something that sounds insane in 2025. Yes, you need to be bored. You'll actually be happier, calmer, and more creative if you allow yourself to be bored sometime. Here's why. When you're not doing anything, no screens, no noise, your brain activates something called the default mode network. It's like your brain's idle mode. But don't be fooled. This is where your most powerful thinking happens. It's the same network that lights up when you dream, imagine, or reflect on your life. It's literally your brain searching for meaning and purpose. But here's the catch. Most of us can't handle it. There was a Harvard study where people had to sit in a room for 15 minutes with instructions to do absolutely nothing. And there was nothing in the room to do, except there was a button in front of them that they could push. And if they did, they gave themselves a painful electric shock. Sit there bored, or get a shock. A big majority of the participants would rather shock themselves with electricity than sit alone for 15 minutes with their thoughts. Yep, we fear our own minds more than pain. Why? Because boredom forces us to face uncomfortable questions. What am I doing with my life? Am I really happy? What does any of this mean? And guess what? That discomfort, those big existential thoughts, are exactly what we need. In fact, research shows that the more we escape boredom with constant stimulation, social media, notifications, endless scrolling, the less meaning we experience in life. That's why anxiety, depression, and emptiness are at all-time highs. We've shut down the very part of our brain designed to help us feel alive. For a minute, just image this. You're at a red light. What do? You grab your phone. Waiting for your coffee? You grab your phone. Even walking to the gym? Podcast in your ears. We've completely forgotten what silence feels like. But when you take away those tiny distractions, something magical happens. You start to hear yourself again. So here's my challenge for you. Try boredom. Seriously. Tomorrow morning, go for a walk without your phone. Work out without music. Commute without the radio. At first, your brain will scream for stimulation. That's your dopamine addiction talking. But if you stick with it for 15 minutes or more, you'll notice ideas flowing, old memories surfacing, and clarity you didn't know you had. That's your mind healing. Want a blueprint? Here's what I do. No devices after 7 p.m. No phones at family meals. Regular screen fasts, where I go tech-free for a day or two. At first, it's chaos. I can literally feel my brain craving a dopamine hit. But then, peace, creativity, focus, real connection. By the end, I don't miss the noise. I feel human again. Look, you don't have to delete your apps or move to a cabin in the woods. Just give your brain a little breathing space. Be bored. Let your thoughts wander. Ask the questions your screen has been drowning out. Because the truth is, your mind can't find meaning if you never stop to listen. Put down your phone. Look around, and rediscover what your life actually feels like. You don't need more noise, you need more nothing, because in that nothing, you'll find everything. Also, check out my recent video on the #1 brain hack, linked at the end of this video. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, share it with your beloved ones, and subscribe for more science-based health insights. Until next time, be bored, stay happy, stay healthy.